His
Wanna
is
get
on,
yours, Bob?
and
then you got the recorder that we always lose track of. All right, and it's ready to go? All right, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. My name is Chairman Fox. I act as chair of the commission. To my right, Mr. Bob Huddeman, who is the commission secretary. To my left, Mr. Michael Newstat, who is the commission vice chairman. Further down, Mr. Dave Frankel, who is a regular member. All four of us will be voting members this evening. Also with us, our recording secretary, Cassandra Varian, and down in her always usual spot is the Wetlands Enforcement Officer, Laura Barkowski. Okey dokey, so we'll move right on to the agenda item number 3, which is active sites. 731, I took a look, everything is okay there, nice and stable. 100 Candlewood Lake Road, we are awaiting the reports.
No change yet.
23 Grays Bridge Road, looks like the report is good. I guess I'd take a silt fence down, and I guess they're going to replace it. I don't know whether it happened or not.
I believe they did replace it
Okay.
already.
All right.
But
Yeah, I can see the detention basin is in, so, yeah, no grass is gonna grow between, well, who knows, right? I mean, I suppose we get 70-degree weather, something could happen. Okay, and again, so we have a kind of a new one here. This is 58 Old Grays Bridge Road, so again, just a big thank you to Artel Engineering and the Land Use Office for reaching out to, it's Mr. Mehdi, I think, Mehta, I think, something like that. And we have an email from him that says that they are essentially still working on a plan to get those contaminated soils out. Again, this is a very big project for anybody that undertakes it. So, we haven't looked at this plan in
A long time.
3 years, Bob?
Long time, yeah.
Easy.
close.
So I think what I would like to do is first, let's keep it up there as an active site. Let's keep it on the agenda. I mean, it could be hopefully it could be a long time, because what's interesting to us is, again, remember, they had to, it's kind of at the floodplain, and they had to put, for fire access, they had to put the road behind that big building just in case. And that meant they had to pave over some wetlands. So in that area where the contaminated soils, excuse me, is a plan for wetlands recreation. Now, I kind of get mixed up in terms of dates and times. I mean, most plans are like, I don't know, 5 years or 8 years or 10 years. I kind of remember there's
standard is normally
5.
five. And then you can get another 5-year extension. Just
Yeah.
Without
Doing-
knowing it off the top of my head. But
Yeah, it's something along those lines. I think the donut hole is behind us now, but let's keep it there. And if you're ever out there, if you're ever running around, see if he's got 5 minutes, because you might like to see what is going on over there. I mean, I think they've got the road in, which is good for fire. But I don't remember exactly what the phases were for that wetlands recreation. I don't know how much they could have done with outside of the contaminated area or with, but that's what I don't want to lose track of, is that wetlands recreation.
Yeah.
So let's keep it there.
In his email, he did say he's awaiting, he would need approval from DEEP.
Yeah,
Could-
yeah, you
DEEP
always
to-
do. It's a big, yeah. It's
before he does anything, so.
Yeah, well, I think he started it.
Yeah.
And then they ran into problems, and then there were issues with who was doing the reviews of the soil, and it's no fun to do these.
I'm just glad somebody's working on it.
Well, we think he says he's working on it.
Right.
So that's one thing. Let's keep it there.
Yeah.
Let's not lose track of it. We don't want to let the 5-year go by and have a problem and blah, 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 blah. Okey-doke. All right, enforcement 35 Merwin Brook, they're on the agenda, so nothing else. Do you have anything for us on enforcement that's not on the agenda?
no, I do.
Anybody have anything that they're thinking of? And sometimes, I'll just ask you, sometimes it kind of depends on how you want to run the railroad. Sometimes for some of the wetlands enforcement officer, if we're, sort of meandering around town, we say, look at that. We can bring it up in a meeting, Your predecessors that asked us to always do a report. For us, it's a little easier not to do the report, but you think, right now, we'll do it informally. If you ever will say, well, yeah, look, do a report, let us know, okay?
If you tell me about something, I will go out there and check it myself too, and also kind of document. So I don't feel a need for a report unless it's some very large violation.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a problem.
A messy mess. Okay, great. Perfect. All right, well then we're gonna move right on to old business, 35 Merwin Brook. Jim, just, Cassandra will need your name and address there.
James McManus, Jim McManus, name on Wetlands Consulting Services, offices in Newtown.
Did we just get something today?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
it
let
is
me
in
try-
the
think it's
old business folder.
Old business folder.
Old business folder.
Yes, Mr. Gallagher, the engineer for the project, sent some stuff in this afternoon.
Only the map is the.
Yeah,
only-
that's all we
Okay.
have. Here's the map, hopefully
Okay, let's see if we got,
it outlines a bunch of the things we spoke about a couple meetings ago.
let me make sure I got the right one. I have one.
If you open it up, I can tell you.
Okay. I don't know if these are two
Should be dated
copies.
12/4.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, that was- okay. All right.
So if you recall, we'll bring it back to the last meeting,
Yep.
which I don't recall exactly that
That,
date.
yeah, that's okay. We can, I don't think, Jim, because there was a lot of little things.
Yeah.
I don't think 'cause we just got this.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna take everybody's time 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
I think what I would like to do, you tell us the highlights.
Yep.
We'll spend some time between now and, I hate to say it, next year, right? And then we'll get together in next year and hopefully we'll all be done, okay? So I don't think we're gonna take everybody's time and
Sure.
have the four of us
No, I
noodle
agree.
on every
I
little
agree. We
detail.
got-
How's that sound?
Everybody's got things to do.
Can we get a written continuation request, cause today is then, we were at our, we were darn close to our 65 days. For
We're
the
not on
wetlands
it though, are we?
application.
Are we on it?
Are we really on it? Cause this is are we really on that?
It's a
clock?
site plan remediation application,
Well,
I'd
is
just
it
like
for a,
to- you
for a
can-
violation?
You still have another 65 days that you can request an extension.
Yeah, okay.
No problem, but just to cover
Yeah,
it as a site plan.
that's fine. I don't do that kind of stuff, but if
You
it's
want
not
me?
due today, I could have somebody do it tomorrow. Or I can write something. I'm not,
It's not
I'm not the owner.
You're not the owner,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
the
got it.
client. I mean, I'm not the applicant.
Yeah.
And he's not here to say yay or nay.
Our extension was granted to December 11th,
Right.
2023.
I think at that time.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about it, cause you guys wanted 2 or 3 weeks
Well,
to get to this point,
well,
right?
Let me give 30,000 view.
Okay.
I did a thing, I did a plan.
Yep,
It
yep.
had about 30 odd feet. Cynthia Rabinowitz came out and says, I like more. We argued back and forth.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
said more.
Yep.
So we put more,
Okay,
and that's it.
okay,
And, you know, there's a little
okay.
table.
That's the
Of-
There's
table
some
that,
tables are in here. I'm gonna give you that, 'cause that's my table. It's easier to read, I think, sometimes. But, and,
can I have this?
Yes.
Thank you.
So we have more everything, more trees, more shrubs, I could tell you.
212 total.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we went up. I can tell you what it used to be and then what we are
I
now.
think 37. I reviewed it today.
Yep. I got my other table here that was back before. Hang on a second. So the new, it went from 25 to 37 for the trees. And then the shrubs went from 175, went from 105 to 175. So we increased it by expanding the buffer to essentially the desired width.
Okay, well,
in
look, I don't,
Cynthia's letter.
okay, I said, we just got it. I want some time, I think, and I'll let anybody else here weigh in on it. We wanna be able to review this, again, we trust, what you've done, right? We just wanna be confirmed to
Oh,
ourselves.
absolutely.
We're not, I don't wanna take 45 minutes tonight.
Could I just bring up a few things?
Yes, you
Just
can.
because I did go through what was
Well, that was
delivered
where I
today.
was going, yeah.
Does it say the caliber on that schedule that you got of the trees? 'Cause
On
would love to hear
Jim's,
you.
on Jim's, yes.
Perfect.
On the plan, no.
Okay.
But on Jim's, yes.
Okay, so
They're
Yeah, 'cause
all
that
2
was
to
part of-
3
That was
inch.
a part of the
right.
stipulation.
that
in
was
Right.
part of the stipulation, so I just wanted to make sure it said
Yeah.
it somewhere that was written out, and then the other thing was the bond amount. I didn't see anything that said anything about the
Wow.
bond amount.
That's up to
That's up
others.
to, okay.
I wasn't in charge of the bond
Okay.
amount, and
That-
unfortunately, I'm the only one here tonight.
You are the only one here tonight, thank you for showing. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something and that you were bringing tonight, so.
Okay.
No, you did not miss that. I
Well,
thought
let-
we talked about a bond amount, but that's fine.
Well, we could set, if,
I mean, I have,
if,
it was in my notes, so
Yeah.
somebody heard it, hopefully. Everything that was in the notes has been addressed on these 2 pieces of paper, with the exception, I guess, of the bond amount.
well, I
I'm
mean,
not sure if anybody knows yet, because we're just sort of, we're
Trying to figure out the number.
figure
of
out the
plans,
number
too,
and make
so.
everybody happy too.
That could also
Because
be a
it's gonna,
condition.
the bond amount is gonna relate to how many plants we put in the ground.
Right.
well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I do appreciate that we had the conversation, you know, about the extension. Like I said, we are just getting it, you've looked at it, you know, it's a part of a violation. I mean, that violation is now the most important thing. I mean, I don't think they wanna take this up to the state to deal with the violation,
not.
so. And I respect that Jim's not the property owner, so we can't speak for him unless you really want to, and give us until, we make it simple and extend it till the next meeting, which is the 6th,
Which is the 8th, I'm sorry.
or the
January
8th, whatever.
January 8th is the next meeting?
Yeah, because Christmas is 2 weeks from today.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Good grief, it is.
that's what I said, good grief.
Charlie Brown, where is he?
Snoopy's in the front yard, I don't know if you saw it.
So, let me write this down.
Yeah, it's January the 8th, Jim.
8th?
There's the calendar, you see?
Yeah, January next.
Yeah. I mean, even if you said verbally, something like, I'm confident the applicant will grant extension to the 8th, that's
Yeah.
enough.
The land use office can follow up with.
We can follow up
Well,
with them.
I would say that
They don't
the
want it.
property owner,
I mean, eventually they gotta come up with a plan. Other thing,
I mean, it's not gonna go away, so I think the property
I
owner
mean-
would be
It's safe to say
willing
so.
to extend
I mean, here's what,
the meeting or the time allowance to the next meeting, which is January 8th, 2024.
I mean, here's what we don't wanna do, and don't, stay calm. I mean, I don't wanna deny this,
No.
because we don't, for incomplete information, which we could do, don't get excited.
We're not-
I don't wanna do that,
No.
let's do
That's why I
this.
just wanted
We're
an
trying to get a
extension.
violation together, you know, I think the record will show that, you know, they asked for some extra time, we gave that to them. I think we're all gonna be good. Like I said, because again, they wanna get the violation
Clear.
cleared as quickly as everybody. So I think we're good. I appreciate what you said. All right? So with that, I said I'll make a motion to continue 35 Merwin Brook Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting, which is targeted for January the 8th, with the understanding that, they said the commission just received the updated plan, which will give them time to review it, although the applicant is not here, the applicant's agent is not disagreeing. The agent is not disagreeing, he's not saying anything on behalf of the agent. And we are trying to resolve the, you know, the violation. The land use office can follow up with the applicant, but I think the commission is good to try and bring the plan review, you know, to its next logical step on the 8th.
Can I ask
I'll
a question?
second that.
Yes, Bob seconds, yes.
I just want to, everybody in this room, including the people who own this property and the engineer, want it all to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, is the commission, through the land use office, if we find an issue, can we find out before the 8th so we can rectify that
We'll do our best,
and come in the 8th and,
we'll do our best,
yeah, I know it's holidays,
we'll
but
do our best. I
I
mean,
just,
I think,
we're not doing any planting, so everybody knows that.
right, right.
That
till-
won't happen until springtime.
Right, and again, I'm just gonna reiterate, and I'll ask for a confirmation from my colleagues. I said, what we're gonna be looking for in the final motion is, I said that this is all done,
Yeah.
right? Barring some, there are no plants available from anywhere on the planet,
Well,
kind of
yeah, I
thing.
don't- yeah. The only thing I foresee, sorry, sir,
Yeah,
is size requirements when it's time to gather these plants. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Sometimes nurseries don't have everything we want.
Right, but I think what you're gonna hear from me in this motion is the planting's gotta be done by the,
Yeah.
by the end of
Well,
June.
What did we say? We have a,
It didn't make it in the minutes. It didn't
No?
make it in, no,
Well,
it's not in the
let's see.
minutes. But that's why I'm reiterating it. That's what we're after,
complete
these,
plantings by 6/24/24.
yeah,
Okay.
right, right.
Complete
Wanna make sure
Yeah,
that's,
no, that's fine.
Watched
Yeah.
it today,
Okay.
to make sure.
just restating that,
right.
okay,
And then 3 years,
of reporting.
report.
Yeah, and we'll, in the motion, Jim, we'll put, I'll tell you what, we'll help your client out and we'll put the months that'll be due,
Okay,
okay?
that'll help.
Yep.
All right, folks.
All right, so Bob seconded that motion, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Merry Christmas, Jim,
Merry
thanks
Christmas.
very much.
Thank you,
Take
Jim.
care.
Have a
Thanks,
great
Jim.
holiday.
All right, so that is that. 11 Merwin Brook, all righty. All right.
My name's Christopher Sheriff.
Do you want a chair? Yeah.
Is that okay, Rick?
Yeah, you just make yourself comfy.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, so, did you get their name and address?
Sure. Thank you, have a good holiday.
Did you get were you able to get the shed out of the creek?
I'm working on it.
Okay, it's a big job,
It's a
huh?
well, here's the thing, we did, go on vacation for a week.
Okay,
I got sick for about a week.
oh my gosh,
no.
So things, and then we had a bunch of lumber,
okay,
wood,
Alright.
so I gotta get that out of the rain. So I'm kinda spread pretty thin over this property.
okay,
But I do a little bit at a time, it is progressing.
okay.
I also wanna state that it's actually not in the water.
Oh, okay, I had
Okay,
heard
so
that it was.
I think I'd like to help you guys rest a little bit at ease.
Okay,
There's a big tree that it's leaning against and a bunch of rocks
okay,
that it's actually sitting on.
okay.
The water is going underneath it, but the shed itself is not in the water,
Oh, well, that's good.
That's good.
okay? So that.
Makes it easier or harder to get out?
Well, it's still over the brook. You
Oh.
still gotta stand in the water to disassemble it.
Okay.
But, thank you for asking. It is something that I am doing and I want it out of there. It looks hideous from the road.
I would imagine.
Can you kind of assure us that there was nothing in the shed that would be in the...
That's why the shed fell over, because I took everything out of the
Ah,
shed.
but I mean in terms of harmful materials,
Nope.
paint, oil,
Nope,
anything
nope.
like that?
No
The
gas,
asphalt
oil,
shingles
nothing
off
like
already.
that.
The asphalt shingles are already in the dumpster up at the top of the driveway.
Okay.
Okay,
So the only thing left there is lumber, and that's obviously, like I
Good
said,
news.
it's not suspended anymore.
okay, well, you're gonna work with them on that. Okay, so the next thing is sort of like that whole bank area. That's the
Correct.
next thing that you wanted to sort of make some updates
What I wanna
to,
do
right?
is prevent further erosion,
Right,
okay?
yep,
Now, I'm gonna be very upfront, I'm not an engineer,
okay,
but I do understand physics pretty well.
okay.
Water is a very, very powerful force.
It sure is.
Okay.
Goes downhill no matter what.
My proposal is to backfill it, to bring it back away from the tree, and also under the tree, which means I have to sit there and shove it under the earth. Then I'm gonna put silt fence in there, and then I'm gonna, probably have to do 2 truckloads of boulders, and put them all in front to help reduce the chance of erosion. So we don't lose any more property.
Okay, I don't have, so we have this little thing, it's Mr. Sheriff, right? We have this, right?
Yes.
This, for us, I mean, I drive by here all the
I know
time,
you
it's
do,
sort of
yes,
hard to
yes.
stop and see, so I kinda have a general
Well, I figured your
idea.
curiosity you would, because it's quite curious to see.
Yeah, so, I mean, the creek is kind of in here-ish,
Yeah, and
right?
it's this bend right here that's
Okay.
eroded, and there's a big pine tree here. It's about 120 years old,
Okay,
okay? What it did is undermined under the rootage of that pine tree.
okay,
What I have to do is backfill it, and that's where the soil comes in. Then I'm gonna put silt fence to help,
Stabilize it.
yep. And then put boulders, I'm gonna just put boulders down. Now, it's actually a good 12 feet from where the dirt was originally. I'm not gonna be able to fill back the whole 12 feet, but I am gonna stop it from taking any more away.
why is it eroding in there? I mean, normally Mother Nature by now would have not,
Made a different route, yeah.
huh, do you have
But
any,
that's-
any idea what may have
Just-
caused that?
Just the way the river, well,
Yeah,
those
it's back to its
torrential
resistance
rains.
strength.
The torrential
Yeah, but you
rains.
would have thought, you know, by now that's not eroding a
No.
tree. That's what I'm saying, something has
Yeah.
changed.
So there, it does look like it used to go around at one point
The
in time.
tree?
If you're looking
It did.
Yes.
Yes,
So
it
I don't
did.
know if this is helpful at all, but it does have the contours. And
I mean, I think what I'm gonna have to do is,
so the brick looks like it was
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
once down around here, and then it
Okay.
looks like it split at one point in time. Around here. So
Yeah.
you're more familiar with your
Yeah.
property and
All
how
right,
the.
so the brook goes like so, comes around, and then there's the waterfall, and of
Yeah.
course, there's the shed. Okay, the
Yeah.
shed used to be up here,
okay,
okay, goes over the waterfall. And
The erosion's up
the
here.
erosion's here,
oh,
okay, where the bend is. Now, this is a long strip that's straight, and it is quite, it has quite a bank to it, goes downhill pretty good. So what happened was, there's actually, let's say, this is where the stone wall used to be. It literally took the stone wall away.
huh,
Okay, and then it just started eating away, and here's where the tree is. The tree was here, and the roots go accordingly. And this is a bank that goes around, and this is kind of like a sandy area, which is low. This is where it dumped all the dirt, actually.
okay,
After, because I know you know, I know you know water. okay?
Yeah.
When it opens up, when the river opens up,
Right.
it dumps its sediment.
Right, right.
Okay, and that's where it dumped the sediment. But it dug it all up because it's only like 8 feet wide at the widest point.
okay. Can you do this for us? I'm gonna try and stop by there. I'll look, see if you
Sure,
guys are around,
please.
and then you can give me the, you know,
Gives
the
a lot of
whatever.
insight.
You
Yeah.
said boulders, what size boulders you talking about?
They have to be heavy enough to where they're not gonna be washed away.
Okay.
Okay. Can you get your hands on a piece of paper about this big,
I can.
blank piece of paper?
Sure.
If you can get your hands on a blank piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
if Merwin Brook Road is here,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? I'm,
Drive, yep.
now here's what I want you to do. Your lot is almost rectangular-ish,
Mhm.
looks like. Big piece of paper, okay?
Okay.
And your home is over this way, I think, right?
Correct.
And there's a
Mhm.
garage here, is
Yep.
that right?
The carriage house is there, yes.
Yeah.
And there's a cabin over here.
Off the property.
Nope, it's on the property.
Oh, okay.
The brook goes through the center of the property.
Ah, okay, well then put that building on there,
Yes, ma'am.
and then take that and show us, in bigger than 8.5 by
Understood.
11, where this little creek
Hmm?
goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Currently or now?
Now,
Okay.
okay? And then you said you got a waterfall in here,
Yes.
someplace like that?
Yep.
And then here's the tree?
The tree's over here.
The tree's over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Put that tree in there, and then say, and then write in, we want boulders to go, I don't know where they
Yep.
go.
Yep, they would go
Okay.
along this area to deflect the water.
Okay.
This is all gonna get backfilled to, like the gentleman said, hold up the boulders and also retrieve some of the property back. And protect the trees' roots, cause now I'll recover the roots and save the tree.
Okay, well, that's what I wanna see, okay? And you can, here's the creek, I just gave it some width, okay? That's what I wanna see.
Sure.
So get a, and they
I
come
will
in
do-
bigger pieces,
Okay.
okay? And we'll take that,
Do you want a drawing? I mean, I have drawing sheets, they're 36 by 24.
whatever
24 by
you
37.
like,
Okay.
something
Bigger-
bigger
it's
than,
actually
as
twice the
big
size
or
of that.
bigger,
Okay.
okay? As big
Yeah.
or bigger, and show us what you're planning to do in a map, cause that's, and I
Sure.
said, I'll get out there, and that's what we'll use, you know, as the go,
Okay.
okay? How's that sound?
Absolutely. Yep, sounds great.
All right,
Okay.
Seems reasonable to me.
does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay,
Do you know when we might be able to start filling? Because the rains last night, when we get those heavy, heavy rains like that, we're so afraid that it's just gonna keep eating away more and more.
Well, the rains that we got this last time though didn't elevate past where the current rocks are that are below it.
Yeah.
It's when we get that torrential rains that it goes over the rocks and just eats away the dirt.
yeah,
We heard a neighbor's tree go down,
last
Oh,
night.
did ya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave Williams next door,
Okay.
he lost his tree last night.
Dave's-
Dave Smith, I'm sorry.
here's the thing, for our standpoint, you gotta have a plan, you got an approved plan,
Understood.
okay?
Yes, Mrs.
Yeah, no, we won't be here till, as you heard, the 8th of January, okay? All right, that'll give you a chance to
And I'll probably
get
have a lot
this.
more of the shed done, so you'll be happy to hear on that. status.
Okay, Well, like I said, the good news is it's not in the water, and it's not impeding the water, and it's not whatever, so it's,
After spending time on it, I
yeah.
figured I would give you that
And
information.
especially after those rains last
And
night, there was no
usually-
backup.
I've seen
Right.
it.
It flowed right under it,
right,
and because now we can see through it, because he has that whole side
One
off,
section taken off.
right.
already.
so you can really see, and the water
Okay.
goes right under.
All right, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So, I mean, that, as long as it's not in, I know it's a messy
Not so
mess,
much.
you know, but you might, as you're thinking about it, you know, even put a little bit more time and energy into this, and the building can go whenever you have maybe,
Well, I'm still on that
Second.
'cause I don't want to-
well, I get that point, but to your point too, we can't allow you to do anything unless we have a plan. I get your point, but, all right? Okay?
And make sure the rocks are
Do you
large
want
enough
to
that they
give
don't get
him
washed
that, or
away.
do we
Yes,
want to
right,
keep
well,
it,
It's
Sharon?
funny you say
What?
that. We-
Want to give him
where
that?
our
or
house
is it-
is, Brook
No,
is
this is
right
somebody else's
by
plan.
the house. The
Right.
house is almost on, we can hear the people.
Oh, you just wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just taking the rocks right down the brook.
I don't
It's
doubt
like-
it at all,
I've seen
yeah.
it, yeah, there's a lot of erosion right there,
And they must have
specifically
figured
right there. It's very,
Yeah.
Well,
That's
where,
very
again, it's a
very interesting to me, so,
Sitting in the living room, it almost sounds like an earthquake when the
Boulders
big
start.
boulders start going down the stream.
Mhm.
And the funny thing is how many years the house has been there, we've never had this. In the last 2 years, we've had 2 major floodings
huh,
where this has transpired.
huh,
That's like,
huh.
And as you
All
say,
right.
the tree is a couple hundred years old, maybe?
yes, it is. Well, it's at least
125.
150.
Whatever, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
been
up
there a long
Yeah,
time.
we,
It's a tall
we
tree.
don't want it to
So
come down.
why,
It's a troll.
Well, right,
why did
Right.
it start eroding?
huh,
Yeah.
Again, I think when we had the first flood, it
Yeah.
started taking those boulders away where the stone wall used to be. And then when the second one came through, it just had a free flow.
But so this first flood was the first flood in a long time.
Correct.
Do you feel the tree is healthy?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's.
So it's worth
She's got
fighting for.
pine needles and everything on her, and pine cones coming from her, yeah, she's definitely fine.
Yeah, good.
okay.
You don't want the thing
All right.
falling down
No.
either.
No,
It's a
no.
big
Not if we can
tree.
help it.
It's a big tree.
Could it fall in your house?
It-
No, not our house.
I think it's far enough away. Again, it is that tall.
Yes.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's close to our neighbor's house,
we don't want that either.
No, you don't.
All right, I'll make them, we'll see you guys next year, okay?
Yes,
All right,
thank you, gentlemen.
the 8th,
Yep.
yeah.
and he'll have that drawing
What-
hopefully before then.
Yeah, if he gets that, I mean,
Weather's not an issue. If it's snowing or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's dismantling. It's not like.
well, again, from our standpoint, since it's not in the water and it's not impeding it and there's no
Right, right,
there's
oil,
no blockage.
it's not an urgent matter for us. If it was in the water and the flow was being impeded and it was full of chainsaw oil, totally different
There's
story.
no- it's-
Yeah.
But we don't have that, okay?
Yeah. Do you
So,
wanna know how it fell in?
No.
You care to know?
Nope.
That's why I asked you if you wanted to know. I emptied it out and there it goes.
there it goes. All right, I'll make a motion to continue 11 Merwin Brook Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll second.
Okay.
Second, or.
Bob
what-
seconded,
Bob
it's
seconded.
January 8th. Okay, any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you again
right, guys.
for working
Guys,
with
have
us.
a Merry Christmas.
Yep,
You
Merry
too.
Christmas.
Thank you, Merry
Yep,
Christmas to
Merry
you.
Christmas.
just to let you know, the next meeting is actually
All-
gonna be upstairs in room 209.
All right, next we have 34 River Ford Road. All right, we're gonna, sir, get your name and address to Cassandra, please?
I just didn't hear what the.
All right, sir, I didn't get your last name.
Yanas.
Giannis? Okay, so we got a new home here, we got a plan
Well,
dated
it's a,
9/7.
trying to think of how to explain this, but,
Where's the water course? Is it the water course?
Yep, I can.
And there's wetland here,
Nope, it's all on the backside of the lot.
so who did the flagging on the wetlands?
I believe CCA did it.
Okay.
This, trying to think how to
Do we
start this off.
do we have that?
This happened, in 2006. this went through the Wetlands Commission. I'm not saying that it's valid anymore, but that's why I'm here, is because back in 2006, right before I bought this lot, it had gone through the commission and gotten, according to
2006?
2006, yeah.
All right, so 17 years ago, right?
Yeah, it went through the commission, it had gotten approved and everything, but the people never put in, I guess, paid a bond to move forward.
Okay,
The person that owned the house, I guess, lost his job or whatever, and let the house go,
but the plan
run
though?
down.
There's a house on there now?
There was,
There was.
in 2007. 2008, the bank foreclosed, and then I bought the lot. So, I kept it pretty much for like, I don't know, since 2008, 2009 I bought it. And now that I'm actually like interested in, or my kids are going to high school, I wanna see if I can, build a house here, and that's why I'm actually going through this process. So I'm new
Okay.
at this, and I'll figure
You're
it out.
doing great.
I'm
You're doing great.
All right,
I
so
brought in an awful lot of details and information.
are there any
that I had,
wetlands
so.
flags on this property still from
Not right now, no.
All right, that may be a challenge. I don't know when these wetlands were flagged. And I don't know. 17 years ago is a long time ago.
right.
So I don't know. We're gonna have to find out who did the wetlands flagging.
Okay.
Okay, so there's your first bit of homework.
Yep.
Okay, who did it and when was it done?
Sure.
And CCA must have something, because
Yes,
it
'cause
looks
they
like
did it
they've
back
got,
then.
they've got something, but I don't, so there's your first piece.
Yeah.
So let's just take a look at what they're saying. Limits of inland wetlands. I'm having trouble. Normally, they would have something called on this map, an upland review area. I see something called a regulated area line. I mean, because I want to put a highlighter on that. Edge of the water course. There's a pond on here too?
It's not really a pond, it's more,
Well, they call it a pond,
yeah.
so.
it's more like the waterway back here, and it becomes a pond only like in really wet,
Well,
time.
that could count.
So,
All right. I don't know what this line is. I don't know what this, there's something called 50 feet. So I don't know what 50 feet is. We don't have anything that's 50 feet.
That
We're
could be
Set-
setback
set-
from
set-
property line,
Oh, it could be property line setback.
yeah.
because it says the 50 feet is, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
it is,
looking
but
at
I don't-
the
I don't-
Seems
map,
to
yeah.
follow the,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
here's what I'm
Yeah.
looking for, and CCA maybe needs a little bit more time to do this. I don't actually, I see some wetland limit, I see this, wetland limitation, wetland WL? That's not normally wetland, is that?
Flag wetlands, WL.
Yeah, well, I don't see any, there's no flags on here.
That's what they're calling
That's why I
it in
said
their-
he's got his first bit of
Yeah.
homework. So, if this, I hate to
Mark it out.
mark it up.
Go ahead, I have an extra copy if you.
Well,
need
okay.
it.
I'm just trying to understand what we're looking at here. Here's wetlands, here's what they say. Here's wetland. I think, because it's not clear to me. So there's their wetlands. If I'm reading this right, there's CCA said there's a wetlands line. Now again, your homework is to
Yep.
say, why do they say that,
Okay,
okay?
Yep.
Because you may end up having this flagged. okay, again,
Again, okay.
yep. And then I don't know where this goes, Bob. I see
Comes
wetland.
back around this way, and then there's a little smaller,
Oh, okay.
this
And
is
then
like
there's-
that other little
All right, so
wetland
there's
that,
another wetland here.
Yeah.
Just divvy it over right here.
Yeah, it goes that way.
Yep.
All right, so this is the new house here?
correct.
Okay, so the new house is, the corner of the new house is 51 feet from this wetland line there.
Yes.
And this is 364, 372, so it looks like the house is up from the back of this
From the
yard?
back, correct. It's a hill with the
Okay.
wetlands.
But
What's
Uh,
there
around the
now?
back.
What's in this area now? Is it trees and bushes?
There's a
and-
couple trees down this
in this
side,
area over here? What's over here?
just shrub stuff. It was pretty much cleared out when I bought it. There were a couple trees in this, there are still a couple trees like in this, around this turn here, cause they had, the people, they cleared a lot, cause they had put a volleyball court in this area here. So the only trees left are pretty much here, and then there's a couple like way over here, but
Okay. Here's your second bit of homework. They've got something on here called a regulated area line. What is that? Because if there's wetlands, if all the wetlands that we're finding are here, the upland review area, this slope doesn't look terribly steep. It should only be 75 feet from the wetlands. So I don't, have them, what is this? What does this mean, regulated area line? What is that? There's two of them in here.
And they're pointing to
Something here.
this?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
This line goes here? What is this? Topsoil stockpile area. So if they can, because that's because in theory, in general, right? From the wetlands, the commission is very interested in an area, again, this is just wetlands, now
The
the pond
wetlands,
is,
yep.
and the water course is 100 feet. But we look at an area 75 feet from a wetlands and 100 feet from a water course. That's called the upland review area.
Yep.
And anything that's in there is gonna be of interest to us. If you got things, if there's no wetlands over here, you're far enough away, we're not gonna have a great deal of interest in it. But we are gonna be very interested in what is going on in, CCA knows this word, upland review area.
Yep.
Okay, so ask them to put on the map, as your third homework, a line showing the upland review area for the wetland and the water course, please, on the map.
Wetland and water course.
Yep. And then just, I said, in general, I don't know if you guys, in general, your house and most things are away from the wetlands, they're not in the wetlands. I don't think this is gonna be a big issue, but we gotta get the plan to be right.
To gravel, yep.
Yeah,
This, regulated, area line is
Uh-huh.
actually like, it goes like this. So it kinda goes like
well, that's what's got
Yeah.
me puzzled, because that is a long way,
from,
that's like 125 feet.
Unless, but there isn't any additional wetlands
I
in this area.
don't know.
Yeah. I guess the
That's
question
what I
is,
don't
what
know.
is,
well,
That's what they're
that
gonna
the
line?
water has to
explain.
run somewhere, right?
Well, that's what I
But-
want them to explain to us, okay?
Yeah,
And I have to tell you, I am thinking, I said, depending on exactly what that answer is for who did the wetlands flagging, you may end up having to do the wetlands flagging again.
again,
Because over 17 years, with rains and whatever, things change.
You heard the gentleman before,
Yeah,
that's a problem he had.
yeah.
yeah.
And I have to tell you, right now, thinking about this for 5 minutes, I think I'm gonna ask you to do that. And I'm not gonna speak for my colleagues here, but let me just ask them. I think 17 or 18 or 20 years is too long. These are what we call directionally correct.
Right.
They're close, but they're not
Not exact.
exact, because they're done with aerial maps. So we can't rely on those for the final
Decision.
plan, okay?
Well,
'Cause-
no, this, if you
yeah.
actually look at this, all of this wetlands actually comes up even higher, like this. So this plan, it says it's basically way down here. So I don't know, like, this is the version that I pulled out,
Yeah,
so it's,
well, that's what's saying,
now
that's,
it's, now
what they're
it's saying it
saying,
comes all the way out
well, they're
here.
saying this is all wet.
Wetland,
This is saying it's all wetland
Yeah.
over here and here.
Right.
Okay, so that's what this line is telling us. And again, I think if you got, your home is 51 feet away from the wetlands, I think we can work with you on that. I think the fourth thing, the fourth homework for CCA is work with them. I wanna see, and they'll know what this is, where's the grass gonna go to? Cause I don't want the grass to the wetland line.
Right.
That creates encroachment, it creates problems. I think we're gonna wanna see either some plantings, you know, in this, along these areas. Again, I don't know the extent of what you want for the yard. So work with them and come up with a line that'll say the extent of the planted grassed yard,
Okay.
okay?
Sharon, the way this plan is, I'm a little bit confused. Is it 51 feet from wetlands, or is it 125 feet?
What, is what?
Where he's planning to build a house.
Right now,
Microphone
the
right here.
plan
Oh,
has the closest, that, on this plan, the closest the home is to the wetland is 51 feet.
Okay, so that would be in our
That's,
purview.
yeah, right. But again, that's a good distance. I think if we can have, you know, here, you're only gonna go half the way with grass, 25 feet, you know?
More, oh,
Yeah, I think that's what, when you talk with CCA, I wanna see a line for
The grass
extent of the grass plantings for your yard.
Yeah.
And I think I'll give you some guidance. I want you to stay 20 feet away from the wetlands with your grass.
Yep.
And we may, again, because you're kind of close
greater than
here,
25 feet.
depending on what's here right now, if you've got some trees, you know, that are in that little, let's call that little buffer area
Yeah.
between the yard and the wetlands, that's gonna be good. We'll keep the trees. If not, I think we'll plant a few just to help you and whoever owns the property after you guys move on.
Yep.
Help them understand what the extent of the yard is.
Yeah, I actually have a wet, landscape where we were planning on planting, but this doesn't include all the way to the area
Yeah,
that we have, so I'll have them update that.
For us, you know, a landscaping plan, whatever you wanna do out here, you know, well out of, again, I'll use the term, CCA knows this, upland review area. You know, you don't have to talk to us about. You know, that's totally on you. But
Yep.
I said, if you can show me that there's some and I'll just, because this is gonna get probably changed around. Let's say your yard, the grass line, you know, is something like this.
Yep.
Okay? Something like that. Again, we're trying to stay 25,
At least 20.
20 feet away, 25 feet away. Let me know if there's some trees in here that are, that can stay. Yeah, if not, let's talk about, you know, a tree every 30 feet or so, you know, and then with, you know, with, I don't know if we'll mulch it, let me think about that. 'Cause I don't want, well, let's see what's there. I mean, worst comes to worst, we can even put, you know, we may end up with some monuments, you know.
Yeah.
If the tree line is
yeah.
good, you know, and it's gonna be nice and steady and stable, then people are not going to be mowing into it, right?
Yes.
Right, you see my
Correct.
point?
Yep.
Cause here's what we don't want. We don't want the grass over
All
there.
the way to
We
the
don't want the
edge,
grass
yeah.
to the wetlands. That's a big problem.
Yep.
Okay? And they've got, right now, you've got everything pretty much out of the upland review area, so I think it's a matter of, I think you're gonna need to flag the wetlands. We can probably, well, we definitely wanna do it probably back here. This one, probably not so much, cause you're a long way from the house, looks like. But I think you wanna look at that, get those wetlands flagged, get a grass line, have them put on the plan the extent of the upland review area. Please tell us, what do they mean
Yeah.
by regulated area line?
Yeah, explain that
Whatever
line.
that is, 'cause I don't know. And maybe it's obvious and I'm just not getting it.
Because it doesn't,
Okay.
If the board doesn't know what it is.
Well, who knows? I mean, I don't know,
Unless
for
it-
all
you
they
call
know,
it
if she's,
somewhere
you know,
else.
they were doing something off some plan 17 years ago, you know,
Yeah.
plagiarism is productivity, right?
Yeah, yes.
All right.
Yeah, they are, cause that's.
Oh, and
that's
trees. Let me know what's in, once you get this line, like I said, 20 feet, let me know, you know, what these trees are. And I'm interested kind of like in big ones, you know, that are more than 4 or 5 inches, you know.
Of course, yeah, I wouldn't consider anything smaller than
Yeah.
that, a tree.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Okay.
they basically grabbed the old one, cause this
Yeah.
is the 2006 version,
Yeah,
and then they went and updated that file to include the new changes for, the zoning, your limits, the new septic,
Yeah, okay.
allowable,
okay.
materials,
so this,
so.
where this shows existing house to be removed, that's all been done.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
That's
the-
okay.
The
We
bank,
do it all the time.
the bank removed, unfortunately for me, the bank removed everything instead of leaving me one wall up. So,
So you have to do it all over.
yeah, well, it would have been simpler, I think, if the wall was there, 'cause I can just expand from that wall and, you know, still go through you guys, but at least through the building department, it would have been, a simpler motion.
Did they do it while the property was in bankruptcy?
Yeah, they what?
Hey,
Did the,
Dave, try and keep it to wetlands, right?
Okay, just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
It was a write-up. I don't know if it's through bankruptcy, but the bank took it over and then they demolished the house and the septic system that was there. So it's basically everything's going in anew. So, okay, so I
Okay.
have my 4 items.
Yep. And again, oh, and I said, let me just ask my fellow commissioners, I said, it sounds like that wetlands flagging is no younger. If that wetlands, let me say it this way, if that wetlands flagging is no younger than 17 years, plan to get another wetlands flagging, okay? That's not a big adventure, particularly because you've got some, you know, basics here, so again, let me just leave you with that, and unless people disagree. If you find that is more than 17 years, then somebody's gonna have a document.
Yeah.
There'll be a document that proves and has the date on it, plan to get the wetlands
Yeah,
reflagged.
building permits.
Well, I don't know what they're gonna find,
Right.
whatever they find, but if it's older than 17 years, that's too long. But it's particularly with the big wetlands on this property, okay?
Okay.
Is that my, explaining myself well enough?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. All right, well, that, I'll make a motion to continue 34 Riverford Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting, which is next year.
Second.
Okay, Bob seconds that. All those,
Bob's
any
fast
discussion?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. All
All
right,
right.
we'll see you next year,
Yep.
okay? Again, we'll
Thank you,
be on
thank
the
you.
agenda. If you need a little bit more time, or you were not gonna be here, you just let them know, you know? Or if you have any questions, just reach out to the land use office,
Will do. Sounds
okay?
good.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take care
Take care.
now.
All right, so I think that takes us, that's it, right, for new business, that takes us to the minutes.
That's it?
Election of officers.
No, we're not electing them now. I mentioned this to Christine. She said, well, I'll just put it on to let everybody know. I said, okay. But our bylaws are very clear that the Board of the Elections are in January. So I guess she said she put it on because she wants everybody not to be surprised when it shows up for real.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right?
She's very proactive.
All right, so we're not, don't have to do anything with that one. All right, review of the previous minutes.
Christine would have done the one on November 13th.
Right. Yeah, the only, and again, this is just a quibble, but if we can put it in there, like I said, just on 35 Merwin Brook Road, I do remember we talked about the bond, there was a big discussion about the bond and the report and what month was gonna be this and blah, blah, blah. But I do remember saying the violation will continue until the matter is resolved, and the commission expects the plantings to be done by the
June 24th,
June 24th, 2024. And I think it's an important point to get that in these minutes. And other than that, I didn't see any problem with those. So with that,
Wait,
I'll,
hold on one second.
what's that? Dave, one
Hold
more
on
time?
Just one second, just wanna go through everything here.
Is that from the last meeting, or is that from October's?
Oh, this is October 30th. Yeah, here, it's here. June 24, let's see, add, we want the plantings to be complete by June 24, 2024. All right, you all set, Dave?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, with that, I'll make a motion to approve with the minutes of October 30th, 2024, with the one change for 35 Merwin Brook Road.
2023.
2023.
Second.
October 30th, 2023, thank you.
Second.
Dave seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, so now you guys gotta do the next one, because I was out sick.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, I was absent. I was here for a while and then I left. I was here.
Did you ever,
What?
I'll ask you later. I did a quick review of this and saw nothing that stood out as being erroneous.
All right, you'll make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes for the November 13th, 2023, the minutes for the November 13th, 2023 Inland Wetlands Commission regular meeting.
Second.
Okay,
A second.
okay. Bob seconds. There's gonna be an abstention on this, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? One abstention, because I wasn't here, so motion carries 3-0 to 1.
Okay.
Okey dokey. Dun, 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 dun. Informal discussion.
No, I think
All right,
that's it.
well, if there isn't anything, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Making note, this is our last meeting of the good year 2023.
Second that.
All right, so I made the motion to adjourn. Bob seconded it. Seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Now that we're out of the